I asked for space, but he gave me a lifetime of it. And now, no matter how much I try, I can't fill the silence he left behind. My name is Emily, I'm 36, and I made the mistake so many others have. Pushing away the one person who always stayed, until he didn't. We were married for 8 years, nothing grand or cinematic but real. Our life together was comfortable. James was my anchor in a world that often felt like it was falling apart. He folded the laundry I left in the dryer, rubbed my shoulders when I didn't ask, and memorized all the little things about me. The exact way I like my coffee, the rhythm of my migraines, how I wanted to be held when the world was too heavy. But over time, routine has a way of dulling even the brightest love. Slowly, I stopped seeing him as a partner, and began to take him for granted. He became part of the background, something reliable, always there, always invisible. I began to pull away. It wasn't sudden, not all at once. It was small things. Fewer kisses, shorter replies. More nights out with friends where I couldn't be bothered to send a text back. James noticed, of course. One night, while we were sitting on the couch, he turned to me and asked, "Is everything okay? You seem distant." I rolled my eyes and said, "I'm just tired, James. Can't I just have some space?" He paused, nodded, and said, "Okay, I understand. But that wasn't what I meant. I didn't mean forever. I meant just for now. I meant, let me breathe, not let me go." Things grew colder after that. He stopped asking where I was going. He stopped checking if I ate. He stopped touching my back when he passed by. I told myself this was what I wanted: freedom, independence, space. But the space only grew wider, quieter, lonelier. If you're still with me, comment 8, because that's how many years he stood by me before I pushed him away. The night he left, I never saw it coming. We had dinner, just like any other Saturday, sitting on opposite ends of the couch, watching a movie I can barely remember. Then, without warning, he stood up, walked to the bedroom, and came back holding a small duffel bag. I looked up at him. "Where are you going?" His voice was calm, too calm. "You asked for space. I've been trying to give it to you. But I think what you really meant was that you don't want us anymore." I froze. James held up his hand, not angry, just resigned. "Emily, I've given you everything I know how to give. For a long time, I thought that would be enough. But it's not. You don't want me. You want room to forget me." He kissed my forehead, the way he used to, and then he walked out. No slamming doors. No shouting. Just silence. And that silence hasn't left since. Days turned into weeks. I kept expecting a call, a text, some sign that he missed me, but there was nothing. Only a growing emptiness that filled the house. Now my house. His drawers were empty, his toothbrush gone. The scent of him faded from the pillow. I tried to distract myself, meeting up with friends, going out more, forcing a smile in pictures, but the silence followed me home every night. It sat with me on the couch, curled up next to me in bed, poured my coffee in the morning, black, no sugar, just how James liked it. And every day, I wished for just one more moment to tell him I had been wrong, to ask him to come back, to fill the silence that I can never escape. I opened the cabinet and found his favorite mug still sitting there. A simple white one with a chipped handle. I pulled it down, and as it shattered on the kitchen floor, I sank to my knees and cried into the jagged pieces. That stupid mug was all I had left of him. The only reminder. Not his voice, not his laugh, not the way he'd whisper, "You're beautiful," even when I didn't feel it. Just a mug, and the crushing silence. I tried reaching out. I sent a message, just 3 words. "I miss you." No reply. I called him, but it went straight to voicemail. I even emailed him, pouring out my heart, telling him that I didn't mean forever, that I was just overwhelmed, that I still loved him. But it took 2 days for him to respond. "I know you didn't mean forever, Emily," he wrote. "But for me, the space became peace, and I can't go back to being invisible." I thought I was holding on to the past, but in his absence, he had moved forward. He was with someone new now, and I saw it on Instagram. They looked happy, and she looked at him the way I used to, like she saw him, really saw him, something I hadn't done in years. That's what hurts the most, not that he moved on, but that I pushed him to. He was everything to me, and I made him feel like nothing. Now I sit with the consequences of that every single day. When people ask if I'm seeing anyone, I smile and say, not right now. But how do you explain that the love of your life left because you asked him to? How do you put into words that you drove away the one person who was always there? And now you're left alone with the weight of your own mistakes. If you're reading this and you have someone who shows up for you every day, even when it's boring, even when it's routine, even when it's not something you'd post on Instagram, hold on to them. Because love isn't loud. It's not always about romantic getaways or grand gestures. Sometimes it's folding laundry together, ordering takeout for dinner, and sitting on the same couch, choosing each other every day. I asked for space, and he gave me a lifetime of it. Now the silence he left behind is louder than anything I can bear. If this story resonates with you, comment 8 below. That's how many years I had everything and didn't realize it. Share this with someone before they make the same mistake. And remember, sometimes the person who annoys you by caring is the one who will miss you when you're gone.